we back? Well, I ain't back, but I'm back. Welcome back. This is Smell Good, Feel Good. My name is Blake. I am your local cologne connoisseur, your scent savant, your fragrance fanatic, your pundit of Parfum, if you will. And we have reached episode 7. Episode 7, that's the number of perfection. That's the number of completion. That's the lucky number 7. God, the man upstairs, he made heaven and earth in 6 days. He rested on the 7th. That's that completion that I'm talking about. It's also the the number of Mike Vick, the number of Tony Kukoc. Even Lamar Odom had number 7. So Lamar Odom, hold the crack. But that's episode 7 for you. If you haven't watched the last video, episode 6, we talked about Dolce & Gabbana, the 1 EDP. I talked about how that one is the ultimate date night fragrance, the ultimate, intimate setting fragrance that you wear when you're getting close to your lady. So if you haven't checked that one out, be sure to watch it. Let me know your thoughts, comment, like, subscribe, share, all that jazz that I be asking y'all for every single week. But I do appreciate all the love and support that I've gotten thus far. Let's keep that going, see how far this can go, see how big this can get, and we'll just take it from there. But before we get into this next fragrance, not that you asked, but what am I wearing today? We're not talking about cologne. We're talking about shoes. This one here is the Adidas Yeezy 750. This is the triple black colorway. This one dropped in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. MSRP on this was $350. This was one of the ones when it dropped, I can't lie, I did not like it. The more I saw it, I definitely just fell in love with it, and I bought it, and it's one of my most comfortable ones. It's one of my most versatile ones. It's black. You can do a lot with black, but it's a nice one. It's very plush. They did a good job on this one with the strap and, the zipper on the side. It's just a very solid, very nice shoe. I don't wear it that often, but when I do wear it, it just feels good. I get a lot of compliments on this one. People, that this is a head turner, and it's really a shame. As crazy as these shoes are, the guy that created them is even crazier. But we're not here to talk about shoes. We're not here to talk about Kanye. We're here to talk about these fragrances. One more thing before we get into the fragrance. This crew neck right here is from Peace Brand Clothing. This is a clothing line that my brother actually came up with, and I bought this a couple years ago. He had a lot of quality pieces in that collection, and this is the one I bought. It's just a very nice fitted quality crew neck, and it has the embroidery across the chest, says Peace Brand Clothing, has the dove on the sleeve right here. This is a very nice one in this collection. Bro, if you're watching this, get back on your grind. I need more shirts. Get back on your grind. Get back on your grind. Today's fragrance, I don't know, man. I got mixed feelings about it. We'll get into my thoughts and what I rated and all that jazz just here in a second, but first, let's see the presentation. Parfums de Marly Layton. This is like one of the most polarizing fragrances that you can find on the market. You got this side over here that says like the greatest thing since sliced bread. Then you got this side over here that say this smells like NyQuil. I don't see many opinions in between that. It's like you either hate it or you love it. But this is like one of the most highly rated fragrances out there. This is like a lot of people's go-to fragrance, a lot of people's daily fragrance, like their signature scent. A lot of people swear by this one. We'll get into my thoughts in a second, but first let's go over the notes. This one has top notes of apple, lavender, bergamot, and mandarin orange. It has middle notes of geranium, violet, and jasmine, and it has base notes of vanilla, cardamom, sandalwood, pepper, patchouli, and guaiac wood. So just off the notes alone, I kind of feel like they tried to do too much with this one. They tried to jam way too many notes into one, tried to make it do too many things, and I feel like if they would have used less notes, more notes that kind of relate to each other, this could have been more of a cohesive scent. But who am I? I'm just a regular Joe. Enough with the talking, let's give it a spray. Straight to the point, I hate the opening on this one. The apple stands out the most on this, and it's like an actual legit apple, not like a synthetic candy apple smell. There's a bit of like a faint citrus smell in there, but the lavender, bruh, the lavender. I have nothing against lavender at all. Lavender is cool, but like dog, mixed with apple, lavender and apple, like that's what they did in the opening of this one. I feel like those two mixed together, it gives it almost a medicinal smell to it. Like imagine this, imagine if someone was formulating a fragrance and they mix apple and like soap. That's what the opening on this reminds me of. Like it's kind of tart, it's kind of sweet, kind of spicy, but it is a bit medicinal, and that's what kind of turns me off on that opening. And you wear this for a few minutes, it starts to become woody, it starts to become a bit floral, but it has a small hint of vanilla. But the more that you wear it, the longer you wait, the vanilla gets stronger and stronger. It develops more of a dominant vanilla kind of smell to it, but it does have a couple floral hints in there from the geranium and the violet. Then it completely dries down into like a vanilla, cardamom, patchouli, like slightly sweet type of fragrance. I love the dry down way more than I love that opening. That opening, The opening almost messed it up for this one. And if you're wondering why I bought a fragrance that I hate the opening on, what I did on this one, I read a lot of reviews online. Again, like I said in the beginning, this is one of the most highly rated fragrances on the market. So I read a lot of reviews. A lot of people were saying the same thing. This is one of the go-tos you need to have in your collection. One of the more finer niche fragrances out there. So I got lost in the sauce. I got lost, pulled the credit card out, swipe, swipe. A week later, this was at my front door. So I technically didn't know what this smelled like before I bought it. I read the notes, so I had a kind of a general idea of what it could smell like, but I had never smelled it before I purchased it. In the fragrance world, they call that a blind buy. I always thought that phrase was kind of weird because, you know, a blind buy is when you buy a fragrance that you've never smelled, you get it in the mail, you open it up, smell it, and that's your first time smelling it. Whether you hate it or love it, you've already bought it. That's what I did with this one. I always find that phrase kind of weird because a blind buy, when we're talking about fragrances, I mean, it has nothing to do with your eyes, it's more with your nose, but I'm getting off on a tangent. This one was a blind buy. I didn't really know what it smelled like. So when I got it, the first thing I smelled was the opening, of course, and I was like, oh, damn, I done wasted like $200-300 on this fragrance that I don't like. That's the worst feeling in the world. But again, once I wore it a bit more, the dry down is a whole lot better than that opening is. The opening had me spooked. But speaking of the opening, I'll tell you a story on this one. So at our old house, before we moved into this one, in our room next to the bed, I have a display case with all of my fragrance lined up on there. I usually wake up before my wife. I get ready for work before her. I had all my clothes laid out. I have my shirt, my tie, my slacks, my shoes. I'm feeling good. I look at this one. I hadn't worn it for a full day. So I was like, you know what? Let me grab this, give it a full day test. I pick it up, I give 3 sprays under my neck, on my wrist, on my other wrist. I'm feeling like I'm in that mode. I look good, I smell good. I put on my clothes, my shirt, my tie. I'm ready for work. I walk over, you know, give my wife a kiss on the cheek. You know, have a good day, I'm going to work.
Ugh, I don't like that. What is that? That stinks.
I didn't say it out loud, but in my mind, I'm like, you ain't brushed your teeth yet. Aren't you want to talk? That's a mighty bold statement, Brethany. But that's one of my first memories of wearing this one. The opening that I talked about I didn't like so much. I'm not alone because she smelled the opening too, woke her up out of her sleep, stank breath and all. She let me know before I went to work that this ain't it. Now granted, that opening, I do not like it, but like I said before, when it dries down, it does become a lot more complex, a lot more cohesive, and a lot more warm and beautiful than it is on that opening. But she let me know, no bones about it. I don't like that. So because of that, I don't wear this too often, but every now and then I do get in that mode where I'm like, I find myself giving this chance after chance after chance. Like to this point, I still do not know if I like this fragrance. I go back and forth all the time on this one. In fact, I was talking to my guy, Zach, on Instagram. He made a comment on a post that I made when I took a picture of this and posted it for my scent of the day. And we were going back and forth, and I let him know that I still do not know if I like this fragrance. I'm still trying to get that figured out. I've had this for two and a half years, and I still do not know if I fully like this fragrance. But speaking of Zach and my guy, Darian, they have a luxury sock line called 812 Luxury Socks. I've gotten a couple drops from them. They had a Father's Day drop not too long ago. It included a couple pairs of socks. It had a cocktail kit, a cigar, but they sell different luxury dress socks. They're thick, they're quality. They got a lot of different designs. They're getting ready to drop some athletic socks in a few different colorways. They have some hoodies about to drop. They just got a lot of nice different quality things on there. They're a local company, but they deliver quality products. If you haven't checked them out yet, go to their website. It should be on the side or should be on the bottom wherever I decide to put it in post-production. But check out their website, make an order. You can go to any of the stores down here that sell the socks in the formal wear. You should be able to find it there, but check it out. But back to this one, I mean, if I sound like I'm talking out both sides of my mouth, one minute I hate it, one minute I love it, that's kind of been my journey with this fragrance. You know, a lot of the fragrance heads, a lot of the, you know, the super fragrance enthusiasts, I'll be saying blasphemy now when I'm not saying that this is the best fragrance on earth, 10 out of 10, you know, go-to daily signature scent. That's just not it for me. I don't know if I like it. Some days I do like it, some days I don't. Some days I can appreciate all the complexity of the fragrance, and some days I just feel like it's doing too much. And due to the fact that it does so much and it's just so polarizing, I would not suggest buying this one without first smelling a sample. They do sell the samples, the sample kits on Parfums de Marley's website. You should be able to go to different stores in larger cities. They should have a full selection of all the different kinds of Parfums de Marley fragrances. You should ask to get a sample of this, see if you like it, and if you do, go ahead and buy it. But I would not blind buy this one like I did. Some days I like this one a lot, some days I hate it. I know I sound confused and conflicted right now, but that's how this fragrance does me. It is solid. The price point on this one is $330, but again, this is a niche fragrance, so you can't expect to pay, you know, bottom dollar. You probably will pay a pretty penny for this one. I would definitely suggest you trying this one out before you buy it. Any fragrance that you spend that amount of money on, you want to love it. You know, you don't want to kind of love it. You don't want to be conflicted. If you spend $200-300 on any fragrance, you want to be in love with that one. You want to be for sure to it's a fragrance that you like and that you'll wear often and that you won't be confused by 2.5, 3 years after you buy it. Don't be like me. Before the record, I ain't paid $330 for this. You know me, I'm too cheap for that. I always find the deals. I tell you where to find the deals if you tap in with me, but I ain't paid $330 for this. That ain't my style. Show me a sneaker I like, I mean, but that's a different story. But this one is, I would say it's a cool weather scent. A lot of people say you can wear it year round. That opening is very strong. It's not really pleasant to me, but it's very, very strong. I feel like if you threw this on in the summer and some of those, you know, warmer, dry heat type of days, some of the humid days, this would be way too powerful, way too cloying for those hot summer months. But after it's all said and done, if I had to give this one a rating, I would give this one, I don't know, man, like maybe a 6.5 out of 10. I don't know. You ask me today, I'll tell you one thing. You may ask me 6 months from now, it may be a completely different rating. I know I'm going to piss off some of the fragrance heads. I'm sorry that I'm not proclaiming this the top dog of the fragrance game, but to me, it's not. I got to be honest. I can't say something just because it's a popular consensus. If I don't like it, I'm going to say I don't like it. But I'm not saying that about this one. This one is all right. And with that said, that pretty much wraps this episode up. This is Smell Good, Feel Good. And remember, when you smell good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you do good. And when you do good, good comes back around to you. If you're watching this on Facebook, be sure to like, comment, share. If you're watching it on Instagram, be sure to do the same. If you're watching it on TikTok, you better watch my videos and like it and put the heart on there so that when you're watching it, the hearts float up to the top of the videos. You know what I'm talking about. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and share as well, but be sure that you're subscribed. Press that button, press the button. Be sure to get subscribed to the channel so you can see all the future drops and all the future reviews that I do on these fragrances that I love or may not love. Depends on which one it is. But stay tuned. You'll see something that you like, something that you wear, something that you may have your personal thoughts on, and maybe we can share our thoughts on that. So stay tuned. But I think that just about does it. We out. Peace.